Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel here on YouTube. My name is Bones of Life. Hope you guys are healthy and well. Today we're playing Caves of Qud. I'll be loading up a save. This is my save, Might Over Matter. This is going to be an early game version of a mental dominating sort of character. So let's just hop right into it. So this is the starting town of Joppa. Let's just get a quick little zoom on me and my doggo here. I brainwashed this Snapjaw to the left of me, and he's basically my pet now. This game is just extremely extensive. So many skills, so many items and things that you can do in the game. It really, player agency is #1 in this game. This is the skill list I'm showing you here. I'm just kind of setting myself up for a pistol wielding, mental dominating kind of build, and kind of slash cook because I just wanted to do that. Here's a look at some of the items you have. Like, I'm running a agility build so I don't get hit as much, right? Not as much armor, but dodge. So I have a portable beehive on my back, which produces honey for me to cook, a woven tunic, and a wide brimmed helmet, along with my smiling sun mask. All of these things don't really give armor, but they do give some dodge chance, and I'm just wearing a couple bracelets because, you know, rave life, baby. That's, you know, whatever. I notice here that I mixed up my weapons. I meant to have the whip in one hand and the staff in the other. I'm really leaning into this dominating sort of thing. I basically wanted to be like a kind of a slave master, I guess, would be the vibe. It sounds really bad when I say it out loud like that, but the idea was basically I would whip my companions into shape and make them do my bidding, right? Sort of like an overlord sort of thing. Today I'm going to be trying to move from Joppa, which is the starting town, all the way up to the 6-day stilt, which is on the very north of the map. Joppa is on the very southwest. And 6-day stilt is on the northwest, so I'm going to try to get there. And as you can see, this is Joppa way down here. Every single tile that you're seeing here is an entire environment just like Joppa was. This place is absolutely humongous. So we're trying to get up there to the 6-day stilt. I have never tried to make this journey before. I have only really explored the starting area. There's a couple of things like Red Rock and the Rust Wells nearby. I've done those before. But we might take a pit stop over there at Davuh because I have another quest for that one. So let's hop right into a little bit of exploration. As you move around the map, you're going to find yourself running into ruins or like lairs of bosses or destroyed cities or whatever. This happens to be a ruin infested with some centipedes, so I thought I'd go ahead and liberate it from its centipede problem and see if there's any money along the way. As you play the game, you're going to fight things and kill things, level up, you're going to cook items, you're going to augment yourself. There are two types of characters in this game. There are the true kin, which are basically humans who think kind of like Cyberpunk 2077, where you can augment yourself or replace your arms with a rocket launcher or replace your legs with tank treads, things like this. That's the character that I'm playing. I'm picking them because they are a easier class to build at the beginning. It's more beginner friendly because they have higher starting stats. The other side would be the mutated kin, and they are the ones that are able to basically kind of like X-Men, right? They can morph themselves into flying characters, which also you can do with the true kin by getting like a jetpack sort of thing. But they can also grow multiple arms and have faces on those arms and, you know, have centaur legs. They have 4 legs and they can just, like, shoot ice rays from their eyes and fireballs from their hands. It's pretty dang cool. This is just some of the achievements in the game that I'm listing here. Just absolutely insane what it would like for you to be able to do. You can do, that's just a few of them, right? I listed because I thought they were funny to look at, especially like getting crushed under the weight of 1,000 suns or wearing your own severed face on your face. That just a testament to this game. If you are a D&D player, if you're an old school D&D player where you played like pen and paper with a bunch of friends and didn't have the fancy maps, didn't have enough money for the figurines, this game is for you. If you're really into graphics and you need to be visually stimulated all the time, I would definitely not suggest this game. I mean, obviously, you've probably already clicked away at this point if you are that type of person. But it's just so good in the role-playing sense. Like, I've never felt quite so involved in a character as I do in this game. I would say like the closest vibe to that I've ever gotten was back when I played Fallout New Vegas, because I'm from Las Vegas, so it had a little bit more of like a personal homestead kind of vibe to it. But this one just allows me to be whoever the heck I want to be in whatever way I want to be. So I'm looking at some mines here, seeing if I can disarm them, and I absolutely can't because I'm bad at that. My guy is more make that guy do it, you know, hey minion, come step on this kind of guy. And I also am looking to get myself some pistols and weapons like that. So I am just kind of going through the game right now, trying to figure out whatever's in this ruin. These machines that you're seeing, like right next to me right now, these are machines used to augment oneself. You can gain license points and you'll gain credits by picking them up through chests and things like that. And then you'll get modifiers, which are kind of like, I guess, microchips you could think of. Like, they're like augments that you can replace parts of yourself with, and you can only have up to the amount of license points that you have. So it's a long haul kind of game sometimes. I'm playing on the classic mode, which is permadeath. So I die and it is over for me. I have to make a new character. I stepped on a landmine here and ended up frozen solid. Thankfully you could just wait it out. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to wait it out, so I just kind of held 5 and hoped for the best. Speaking of controls, this game functions by having 2 hands on the keyboard, which is a big time first for me. I'm not an old school PC gamer. I've always been a console gamer up until recent years because I never had the money myself to be able to afford it. So yeah, left hand goes on your controls and the right hand handles the numpad, and that's how you move around. If you aren't good at learning curves, then this is going to be a difficult game for you because there is a big learning curve to get into it. But once you can get into it and you start figuring things out, you're going to feel so rewarded for it. So anyway, we ended up here in Davuh, or Davuh, or however you say that. I just decided to go ahead and do a little exploring while I'm here. I may as well. I've never been to Davuh before. I was thinking it was going to be a city, but it looks like it's more of a ruin. Here I'm kind of stalled because I was like, what the heck, a bat is hostile? They are typically not hostile to you, so I was like, something's wrong. Looking him up, he was like some part of some cult or something, which is something I'm going to get into in just a minute. But I wanted to note here, I can't attack this bat. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to swing my staff or my whip and hit the bat. I can't because it's a flying enemy. You can't hit flying enemies with melee. So I figured that out, and when you see that little reticle popping up, that's me aiming my pistol at it. So I just started, you know, blasting Frank, doing what I do. But going back to what I was saying before, these bats are part of a cult. So normally bats are passive to you. They don't care if you're there or not. But these ones are part of a cult, and it is just insane, the lore in this game. Every time you boot up the game, some things are going to always be there, like Joppa, Davuh, the 6-day stilt, for example. These will never go away or move. But all of the tiles that are like open land, where I just found that ruin earlier, it might not be there in the next playthrough. And every ruin is individual to the playthrough that you're playing. So there are cults and there are factions and there's reputations with each and every faction, and you can choose to be part of these kind of ongoing brawls and wars that are in between the matches, or I'm sorry, in between the main quest lines and things, and choose to just basically be like, oh, I want to be the salamander people's hero of all time, so you can just help salamander people kill whatever they're trying to kill in your specific playthrough. Or if you wanted to work with the baboons and say, I'm going to be a baboon hero forever, then you can definitely side with the baboons. And for example, like the mutated can get ape fur as one of their augments. It'll make you more friendly with them. So it's really cool that this game allows you to choose and pick and be friends with whoever you want. So right there, I was trying to examine that little shaft right there. I found out later that that's actually a shaft, literally. I walked and fell down a shaft into this bottom part down here. And this game is incredibly unforgiving sometimes. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and just, scout this area out. Why not? I'm relatively decent leveled. I think I was fine to be here. This is an eyeless crab right here. I know that this is like a medium threat for me. Like, I'm not going to be able to see, I have to hit it a lot. But I don't think they hit me hard enough where I needed to worry, especially with my Snapdraw Brute around. But soon I'm going to learn a lesson in humility. This game, you should take your time and you should be playing it, you know, one step at a time. There's no need to rush. And I continued to push forward thinking that I can handle everything in here. This is one of those statues, for example, like this guy rode a chariot off the side of a cliff, and luckily there was a physician there that helped him in a place called Bethesda Susa. There you go. Up to the far, far north. And that's a history that happened in my specifically generated world, and now I know about it. So if I go to Bethesda Susa, maybe I can find that physician, and maybe I can get more info on that. So when you see little pop-ups like that, I'm kind of using the L key to look at something and figure out what it is. That happened to be a giant centipede nest, so I am, you know, blasting it, man. Just unloading my revolver and my semi-automatic pistol into it. And yeah, I'm just kind of looting around right now. Again, I don't really need to be here. I already did the quest, but I was thinking to myself, you know, I'm already here. I'm a greedy boy. I'm going to try and get some more money. And I end up running into something bigger than I can chew. And this is where the game is absolutely so unforgiving. You need to be paying attention to everything. I got sidetracked by this salt hopper because I thought that salt hopper there was only going to attack me and the drill bot was going to fight my Snapdraw. What ends up happening is I'm killing the salt hopper, the drill bot jumps over to the side of me and hits me for 15 damage all at once. That's like half of my health. When you get to 40% of your health, the game gives you a warning and says, oh, hey, you took you're about to die. You're at 40% health. But it hit me for all of that at once, so I insta-died. This little tombstone screen you're seeing here will give you a list of everything you've accomplished with this character, everything that just recently happened, so you could see what your mistake was, and mine was that drill bot kind of jumped me. So briefly, I just wanted to go over to the character creation. The mutated kin and the true kin are your choices there. There are so many options. This is the preset options I'm doing right here. So basically, it's an already made character. This one's built to be more survivable. This one's built to be a melee fighter. This one's built to be, you know, a flyer, for example, with primary ranged weapons. You get the gist. These characters are the ones that are going to be able to transform and metamorphose like the X-Men. Very cool. I play the True Kin right now just because I'm trying to get a grasp on the game. I'm only about 5 or 6 hours in, which is not nearly enough. You need to learn this type of game. This is one of those games where, like I said, the learning curve is steep. You have to trial and error things slowly but surely to get it done. I've still been staying and starting at Joppa just to get myself all set up. But here we go. I'll start a new character right now. I was thinking the vibe of like a ranger, think like Aragorn, but with 2 swords. So I was like, I kind of want to be like this multi-wielding, whirling dervish, kind of badass guy who can't be hit. So I went with the high agility character, and I'm going to even out all my stats right here, give myself a lot more toughness and strength. That way I can take more hits and I can hit harder. I don't like to have zeroed stats. I'm like that even when I play D&D, for example. I don't like to have a negative stat. I'd rather give up one of my stronger attributes and be zeroed out on something. That's just my preference. You can build however you want in this game, 100%. Strength is going to determine your damage and if you can be knocked back by enemies, things like that. Agility is going to be ranged weapon, your ability to dodge. Toughness gives you more HP, and then you've got things like intelligence, will, and ego. All of those things I've been using in the last run, stuff like identifying items better, getting more skill points, or modifying the cooldowns on your abilities, or being able to mentally dominate people, which is like what my big stat was ego last time. These are some of the augments. I'm going to grab night vision because that's just the way that I like to play. I don't like to have to use torches. Can absolutely get things like, you know, the pentaceps here, where you can charge farther, or carbide hand bones, where you can punch with your fists really, really hard and they don't break. Stabilizer arm locks, for example, where you can hold a gun better and shoot it better because you've basically got, you know, screws in your arm that let you. Optical bioscanners, which are right behind your eyes, allowing you to be able to see what you're fighting and its hit points. The list goes on and on. So this character I'm going to go with, let's go ahead and give him a clever little name. I'm going to go with Malti Atakur because I have no imagination and I just label them what they are because I'm that guy right now. I don't know what to tell you. I couldn't recommend this game more. It's a single player game, so there are no other players. There are like NPC players, for example. And you get to start your world wherever you want. So Joppa's the starting lanes. Salt Marsh, for example, you'll get the ability to fish and reptiles like you more, wear some moccasins. You can start the Salt Dunes where you learn the fasting way so you don't have to eat as much. Wayfarings, you don't get lost as hard for things like the Desert Canyon, and then the hills, you'll get the bloodstained neck ring because that's cool as heck. I'm going to start with Joppa just because that's the way I do things. I am slowly but surely working my way through the game. So you'll excuse me if I'm a bit of a noob. It's going to generate you an entire world to your own. So unlike the other world I was just in, I might not find that the bugs dislike the monkeys for some reason. They might be friends this time around because some event in history that happened in this world. It's just an absolutely fantastic game. But you do need imagination, and you have to be okay with not having a ton of graphics in your life. So I have other games to give me that urge. This is for me, my solo D&Ding time, because I don't really have time to play D&D anymore because of my children and things. You know, darn them. How dare they be born, right? But obviously, I'm happy with the life that I've got. I'm just saying, I don't have time for it anymore. So this helps me scratch that itch. If you are like me and you can only play games in chunks, or you have a very busy lifestyle and you don't have time, this is a fantastic game for you to play because it's turn-based. So you could just stop at any time, push escape, hit save and quit, even if you're in the middle of a battle, even if you're lost in the middle of the forest, even if you're in the middle of this trade right now, you can just back out and say, you know what, I need to go handle my dog right now, or I need to go cook dinner or whatever. But if you're into player agency, if you're into role-playing, if you're into all that kind of stuff, this is the game for you. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.